Alright, we gotta put this little gasket on here. See, and then this. Turn this around. That's gonna go on here. I guess we'll get the clamp. Got some dogs barking over there. Oh, get the clamp. Spread out to where I can get it on there. That ain't gonna work. It's got to be in a certain spot. Damn it. It's got to be over here like this. That's the way the other one was anyway. Alright. Painting me arse? Is that the way they say arse and island is arse? Or ass and island? Arse? I kind of like it. Alright. Okay, so he gave me new bolts, which some of them had nuts on them, but that's okay. I can definitely deal with that. I got the turbo mounting oil drain gasket. My favorite time of the day is coming out here early in the morning on a Saturday or Sunday, because most of these guys aren't working and they don't have 13 tractors driving around you while you're trying to do something, and the phone ain't ringing off the hook, and the doggies are out in the strawberry field right now playing and having a good time, and nobody's messing with them. So I like this time of the morning, time of the week, time of the morning. All right, so we got that. Let's see. Trying to figure out the best way to do this. I gotta look at this and see. I think what I can do is figure out which ones are threaded into that. So that one's a threaded hole. I think there was only one threaded hole. All the rest of them had nuts on the end of them. Yeah, there was only one threaded hole, that one right there. Okay, so let's, which means that I'm trying to remember, it was kind of a goofy deal. So this hole here is threaded. Wait a second. Yeah, that hole's threaded. How come this hole ain't threaded? Oh, you dumb shit, you're looking at it. Yeah, you gotta turn the turbo the same way. Then the same holes are threaded there, moron. Okay. Okay, got that. And that. It's gonna move around. It's gonna be a pain in my butthole. But we'll get her done. Oh, okay, good times, good times. Oh. Okay, we're backwards here, turn it around. Around there and grab one of the bolts. think that's actually that shorter bolt. Yeah, I think so. That's actually one of the shorter ones. I gotta go get the shorter one. It's on the tailgate. Alright. You get actually two shorter bolts. I think there's two threaded holes and two non-threaded holes. This hole looks to be threaded too as well here. Alright, so that's it right there. That bolt in there. Okay, so we gotta put this one on. Get in there like I said. Alright, so how come I'm not seeing the nut that should be on there? Why am I... Oh, wait. Yeah. Because I'm gonna have to use one of the old bolts because this hole... That's right. Now I remember. And I got memory for shit anymore. Got a good friend, old cowboy that I grew up with, and his wife's got Alzheimer's, and I just hate to see that. It wasn't very long ago I was over there and I didn't realize how bad she'd gotten, and I worked on something for him. I was old Heister. He squeezing. Anyway, he said, you know, that's the kind of customers I got. You get done with whatever you're doing and they go, come on in and get some dinner. You know, and anyways, went in there and got some dinner. And she had grabbed something off the counter there, and she asked him, she said, oh, where's the coleslaw? And he said, you just set it behind you. And yeah, I didn't realize it would have gotten that bad, but can't remember anything. It's a shame to see that. Bad way to go. You know, and he's trying to manage a ranch and take care of all that and then take care of her, and got his hands full. Okay. I need another 15. Okay, this turbo drain line's kind of fun. Oh, I gotta figure out where to put my hand here. There isn't really a good spot for it. I didn't take this completely off because I didn't want to pull this water line off and lose all the water out of the engine, so I was trying to keep from removing that and getting it completely out of the way. Damn. All right. I had to go around to the other side to get it on there. All right. Yeah, I think we got started. All right. They're kind of a pain to change, but any newer tractor with a DPF, SCR, that 8000 series aren't too bad to change. Well, that sucker's kind of just awkward. Get your hands in there. Weird angle. Alright. Okay. Pressure line. Let's go back here and I'll show you what that's all about. You know, that's one thing. Let's see. Might have to dig an O-ring out. I should have got an O-ring for that. Should have been a little keeper. That's the keeper for it, and another short bolt. Don't know. That's not it. Might have been one of these longer ones though. There was a keeper and a bolt that went through that, but that was this bolt. I remember that. Must be this one here. I might have to look at the O-ring on it and see if this is going to be reusable, or we might as well change it. I don't want to come back and do it again. Where's the pressure line at? Where did you go? Why am I not seeing the pressure line? Should be one of these right here. Oh, that's because it's clearing the hell over here. That's why I'm not seeing it. Okay, I'm gonna get this situated. That thing looks pretty flat. Before I take it completely off and destroy it, I wonder if I should see if I got one. Let's see, that's gonna go clear back around. Back in here. Okay. That's better. It's more better. Yeah, I think I might. Let's pull that Let's see if I can find an O-ring for that. Well, I don't have the right O-ring for this pressure line. I just don't have it. I don't possess it. It's too skinny. It's a really skinny line, or skinny O-ring. I just don't have it. So if it leaks, I'm gonna have to come back and warranty it. I need to buy another set of O-rings, or remember to, when I order one of these turbos, to tell them to give me this O-ring. I gotta get my coat off because my arms are too thick with it on to get my arm in there to put that tube in there. I wonder if I can get around on the other side and maybe pull on it. Put a little lube on here. Alright. She's in there. Okay, this little keeper goes on there. You gotta carefully where you're stepping. The auto steer little rod is on the steering linkage there on the tie rod, and if you step on the wrong spot, you'll bend that sucker and it'll throw the steering auto steer out of calibration, and then you'll have to fix that. It's kind of hard to, some of the stuff's not very easy to get to. Okay. Turbine speed sensor. I think we can put, what we can do now is where'd my pups go? Oh, Duke's way out there in the middle. Duke! Duke! Lie down, buddy! They're way down there. Hey, don't go too far! Okay. I think what we'll do is we'll leave that clamp straight up like that. Well, I need an extension or something. They're gonna angle in a different direction. Maybe let's go back. Get up there, you dirty bastard. pretty critical, any of this stuff with the emissions, DPFs, and anything with differential pressure sensors and exhaust gas pressure sensors. The stuff's pretty well got to be leak free or you're going to have problems. Pretty critical. Alright, we gotta fish this thing back in there. All this stuff's got gaskets on them. This kind of got a seal in here, which are reusable. I'm gonna have to let's see, what if I go like this? The old days of just, I remember the older tractors, they were so simple to change a turbo out on or something like that, you know, just, that was something you went out in the field and a couple hours and you were done. Now it's kind of a major ordeal to change a damn turbo. As you can see with this one's a major ordeal just to figure out that something's going wrong with it. No rhyme or reason as to why it was failing, really. Alright, I gotta go around to the other side and get that one hooked up and then come back over here. Realize that I'm on the wrong side of this bracket with this. Let's gotta go over here. How the hell did I do that? I don't remember how I did that. Oh, it's not happening. Let's see. What if I loosen this up and then... God, I hate messing with stuff like that because usually that bolt doesn't come loose in that. It's usually what happens anyway. Oh. That one came loose. Sometimes the guy gets lucky every now and then. Let's put this one on there, and this one is a cheater. Well, that's not working out very well. Alright, we got really lucky. The bolts actually came loose. Might get enough out of that now to where I can... Look at that dirty son of a bugger. There we go. Now, yeah, okay. Let's do this number here. Let's actually turn this clamp. I kind of like my clamps facing the same way. I don't know, it just looks better. Okay. Now I'll go put the other end on. Okay, so this we got, I find the bolt here, then that, and then what else? Oh yeah. Gotta gotta have that on there. She won't run very good with that off. That clamp, is that one of those clamps? It's like, what's the deal there? Okay. You ever seen them, Ford does that on some of their intercooler clamps where they're like stapled to the rubber boot and they won't turn, you know, or they'll have a little rubber nipple sticking out of the boot and then it lines up with a hole in the clamp. I thought maybe that's what was going on with this one, but it's just stuck on there. That sucker really tight because I don't want it popping off of there under load. And I think we can go ahead, put this back on there now. I was singing nursery rhymes to my buddy Jim over there in PA. He liked my nursery rhymes. They're inappropriate for what I'm doing here, so I can't sing them here, but he wants me to write them down and send them to him. My buddy, best friend, his dad was quite a comedian, and he would come up with some stuff that would just make you laugh and piss yourself. You were laughing so hard. Just nursery rhyme, just funny shit, you know. And that's where I got all that stuff from over the years. It was all original. That guy was in the wrong. He shouldn't have never been a rancher farmer. He should have been a comedian because he came up with his own material. Oh, he was something else, man. That guy was funny. Had stories and stories and stories and stories. And all right. Let's get all this stuff off the tires. I'm sure it'll vibrate and fall on the ground, and I'll be digging it out of the dirt. Make sure. Days, that's not a good place to lay, babe. Hey, good looking. This stuff here, sew it on the tailgate. Come on, hon. You need to get out of there. Come on. No, I just don't want the wheel to turn and catch you or something. You're all right. Okay, let's fire this old girl up and see what she does. All right. Sure we got no leaks? codes flashing on here, so let's go over here to the message center. Go down to diagnostics and bring up all the controllers. Go to the ECU, and they should be inactive. Active, no. Okay, clear them. Alright, well, I don't know what all this other crap's about, but I'm gonna let it warm up and I'm gonna go test drive it. I gotta put the side panels back on. Boiling some of that antifreeze off the manifold. Okay guys, so I'm going to explain what these goofy looking tires on this tractor are for. This area up here is all nursery stock, and these nursery guys, they grow the plants, and then they harvest the plants in the fall, and they sell them to the fruit growers who actually plant them. California, Southern California is a huge market. Florida is a huge market. All over the world, these plants go all over the world. The overseas market has become very big. This one big nursery here called Panessa, they're actually, if I remember right, they're from Spain. That's where they're from. They've bought a lot of ground around here. So anyways, there's a front flail mower on this tractor and a back flail mower. And the mower goes over the plants because they don't want the whole plant with the leaves and everything. All they want is the crown and the root. So this goes over and chops the tops of the plants off before the actual strawberry harvester comes in with it's kind of got like a cutting edge there that lowers down on the front chute, and it goes down to a certain depth and just digs the crown of the plant up. And then the plants go through shakers and everything on the belt chain and up. Some of them, the nursery I had worked for, went up through a front chute with chain, kind of like a potato bulker. You know, potato bulkers had hydraulic shakers on them with belt chain or hook chain, but would go up through there and shake the dirt off the plants because you really want the plants clean. This nursery here, they use what they call a star wheel digger, and they're kind of a little bit off thing. The star wheel diggers, and it's not my opinion, it's a fact, they don't clean near as good as a trommel digger does. I'll have to show you guys a trommel digger one day. But anyway, the whole purpose of those tires is that when they chop the plants off, you know, that front flail mower runs over it, and then the tires run over it, and then the back, you know, of course, chops it too to get anything the front flail mower missed. They're trying to keep from damaging that crown on that plant. So when they dig it up and go, all these plants get harvested here. They get put on trucks and they get sent to trim sheds. There's a bunch of people sitting at sorting tables and trim tables, and they go through all these plants, and there's a certain grade. And these nurseries, it depends on what the production is. If they got high production numbers on these plants, they'll do what they call, if they've got high production, they'll make the grade higher, which means the quality of the plant's usually going to be better, and they'll throw a lot more plants away. It all depends on based on what their orders are. If they have a high production but a low order, it just depends, you know. So anyways, when they've got low production and they've got high orders, obviously the grade goes down. You know, they're not going to throw as many away. They're going to pass a lot more plants along, and that probably sometimes shouldn't be passed. Anyways, each nursery has their own way of doing things. I get a lot of comments on guys that are in the Midwest going, "Oh, that ground's all worked up."
This isn't soybeans and corn. This is a completely different animal. This is row cropping. You don't farm potatoes like this. You don't farm strawberries like this, lettuce like this. The ground has to be worked up, especially strawberries. One of the requirements for strawberries, especially what they call university plants, these are certified plants, and one of the ways the plants get certified is the ground has to be sterile. That's why they fumigate it. So strawberries are a really tough plant. I mean, they like, they'll survive in the cold weather. They're almost kind of like alfalfa. You can plant them and they'll come back the next year and you can keep that crop in there. They're kind of like an alfalfa field. And of course, year after year, if you keep having that plant in there, the production keeps going down. But on a what they found out years ago was that the growers down south, they wanted a new crop every year because they found that they were making more money with that being replanted every year. Because I mean, back in the old days, they used to keep these strawberry plants. They'd keep them in for 2 3 years, almost like an alfalfa field. Well, ever since I've been around it, they haven't done that. They've just ripped them out and started over with a new crop every year. And then the strawberry industry it's gotten so technical that they've got all these labs down there doing, what do they call it, micro stemming or something. I can't remember what they call it. But they've got labs down there coming up with new varieties constantly. So there's always a new variety, and they're always trying to make a plant that'll produce a piece of fruit. To be honest with you, the old days the plants produced smaller fruit, but it tasted better. But now they're trying to. It seems like to me lately they've just been trying to go after what looks good because they don't have any taste to them. So, and you know what? I asked one of the owners of one of the nurseries why they're doing that, and he said because he told me he says the first thing people do in one of these fancy hotels is they take a strawberry out of the sack or whatever off the plate and they dip it in sugar. He said so we kind of engineered the taste out of them. So, anyways, I just thought I'd give you guys a little bit of background on what's going on with the strawberries here and what these tires were for. And there's a whole lot to this strawberry thing, I'll tell you that. It's like the number between that and lettuce, it's the two number one commodities for agriculture in the state of California. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like, give me a thumbs up, please, and subscribe. Thank you.